That's Shoftim Tafshin Pedalet. Shiur is going to be a little bit technical, but very eye-opening. Let's go directly into the psukim and try to understand the beginning of the parsha here. The parsha that always starts first week of Elul. Why is it starting in Elul? You'll see for yourself a little bit. I just don't remember. Okay, share screen. Let's go here in the psukim. We stay here. Shoftim v'shoitrim titan lecha b'chol she'arecha. You have to not impose, but set judges and policemen. You know, shoitrim titan lecha b'chol she'arecha. Why is he coming to teach me? Since the Bnei Yisrael left Mitzrayim, it's clear in Parashas Yisro, Moshe Rabbeinu was judging the Bnei Yisrael. And after Yisro saw how hard he was working, he told him, place different Batei Dinim and only the hard stuff is going to come to you. So we see we already had Shoftim v'shoitrim. What is the Torah telling me here new? You look in Parshas Devarim, Isakiru Panim B'mishpat, basically the laws of a Batei Din. They already mentioned before that. So why is the Torah here compounding this din in a few psukim? I don't know if it's 6 or 7 psukim. And it's going to use interesting languages because this time it says Titan Lecha. Oh, each one of us has to have a Batei Din. We need to have 3 dayanim. So what do you mean here, Titan Lecha? To the Bnei Yisrael? Who are we talking to? We just finished in the Parshas Rei. On a happy note, we were talking about the bracha of the Shalosh Regalim and so forth. And here, all of a sudden, we start with, something very strict, the din. Why did we jump from, even the seasons between summer and winter, there is the fall. You don't jump from one season, from extreme to extreme. But here, the parsha seems to jump from extreme to extreme. Now, the language of the pasuk is also going to change. Bechol she'arecha. Should have said bechol irecha. So everyone has, we understand the Sanhedrin in Yerushalayim is not enough because people in that time, to travel from one side of Eretz Yisrael to the other side, especially when we had the big Eretz Yisrael, Imhera b'yameinu, we should get it again. Right, very soon. Okay, it was not accessible. Okay, so every little city, they didn't have cities like we have cities like Miami then. They had smaller cities. In that case, why didn't it say Bechol Irecha? What is the pasuk telling me? Bechol she'arecha. Meaning, if you have one shar that doesn't have a Batei Din, it's from the mitzvah. Because this mitzvah is accomplished only if the mitzvah is completed. And to complete the mitzvah, it has to be bechol she'arecha. That's exeres hakasuk. Now, it's going to tell us here, Asher, strange language, Asher Hashem Elokecha noisen lecha lishvatech. We've seen of this language, Asher Hashem Elokecha Neisen Loch, Nasan Lecha, but Lishvatecha. But you say the Shearim, it's not by the Shvatim. The Shvatim is a big land. And every Plachim, every shtetl must have his Batei Din. And look at this. Asher Hashem Elokecha Neisen Lecha Lishvatecha, and at the end, it's going to say, here, Asher Hashem Eloikecha noisen lach. 1, 2, so 2 psukim later, we're changing the language. V'shavtu and not the shoftim, v'shavtu es am, not mishpat, not justice, mishpat tzedek. Justice, just justice. I know what justice is. I know what tzedek is. But the two together, what does it mean? We're not going to get to the rest, so we're going to stay on it. I have another question. The goyim all around, do they have courts? They have Batei Mishpat? Any country in the world has. So you see, this is for a country, in order to be able to progress and people to feel safe, you need to have Batei Mishpat. You need to have courts. They've done it without having a tzivui. So what's so special about the Bnei Yisrael that we have to have so many psukim and so many threats on the dayanim, to the point that Chazal say, that a dayan says, what do I need this tzara? It's so demanding, and you have to be so careful in everyday's life. You can't act like you want. You can be invited wherever. There's a simchas mereim, if there's a party, and to give you an example, it just happened last night after marriage. Oh, someone tell me you're saving the situation. Why? I said, he says, because they're going to do a farbring and it's his birthday. So I politely declined. I said, look, I'm not allowed. And I can't go into, friendly parties like this. He says, no, you don't understand. So I said, look, it's the halacha. There's nothing I can do about it. This is Erches Dayanim. You can go to a party. So he says, yeah, but the Rav is not here. He's in Toronto. So we had someone to say Vatera, and so replace him. Oh, so I said, if you need it Vatera, I'll come. So when is it? I said, which day of the thing? He said, it's now. Oh, I said, okay. So I went just to say Vatera, and I left. Dayanim are regimented by a lot of things. And there's a lot of halachas that apply to them that you cannot, benefit. A rabbi can benefit from the congregants. A dayan cannot, not even a little bit. He's finished. So what's the specialty about Bnei Yisrael that HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to come with difficult psukim and order us to install Batei Dinim everywhere in Israel? If we can finish that, that'll be already a big achievement. We're just going to understand the inyan of the din. When someone harms his friend, and when I say harms his friend, meaning for sure, if he harms him bodily, for sure it's chayav. But he harmed his money. The guy, after harvesting, lights a fire in his field. The fire goes, didn't calculate well. The fire goes, burns the field of the friend that has not yet harvested. Big loss. This is nezakim. And all Chesed Mishpat is full of it. So this, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave the right to the Dayanim to judge these matters. The Midrash Tanchuma in Parshas Mishpatim, because the Mishpatim started ve'ele ha-mishpatim. The Midrash Tanchuma says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, now I gave them the Torah, you go and give them the laws. The Mishpatim. The Mishpatim are the laws for Batei Din. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them to the Bnei Yisrael, it's very simple. If you want to exist, the only way, you have to keep the laws of Batei Din, because they are the one that hold the world together. You have to put in front of them, and they have to do it. And he gives an example, the Midrash, that their Mabul was destroyed because they were not careful about the Mishpatim. They were not careful about the laws between people. So, and Rabbi Eliezer comes and says a sentence that you probably heard: Im yesh din lemata, if there is a din down below, ein din lema'alo, there's no din up there. But if there's no din down here, as yesh din lema'alo. Two things we have very, very fundamental from this midrash. What does it mean? Bnei Yisrael have to keep the mishpatim in order to exist. What does it have to do, my problem with my Jewish neighbor, with Am Yisro being able to exist? We know Bnei Yisrael are lamb, and the 70 nations are wolves. How do the dinim affect this situation and the balance between the lamb and the 70 wolves, and that the 70 wolves will be scared of a lamb? Because otherwise, how can we exist? This is extremely fundamental in what the Tanchuma is going to teach. The second thing we have to understand here, why is HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, or should I say, does HaKadosh Baruch Hu hints that you'd rather have the din down below than the din up there? Because the din up there, when they start opening the books, you know, it's not like down below that just look at one problem at a time. HaKadosh Baruch Hu scans all the books together and see who's this person. Boom, he's going to get. So the oynesh that he gets from Shamayim is much greater than the oynesh he's going to get from a Batei Din. And therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu does a chesed with the Rasha and gives him into the hands of the Dayanim. In order to go deeper in this, we say every day in Shemona Esrei this sentence: Hashiva Shofteinu kevarishoina. Return our original Dayanim, the Shoftim. Ve'yoyatzenu kevatechila, and our advisors as originally. Ve'haser mimenu, and remove from us yagoin va'anacha. Painstaking, you know, and anacha is when someone can't carry anymore, can't keep on with the tsaras and everything, so he start breathing hard. I can't anymore. Enough. What are we saying? What's the connection between the beginning? It's a pasuk reading of the beginning here and the end. That we dive into HaKadosh Baruch Hu to send us back the original Shoftim, the one that were din emes, that cared for Bnei Yisrael. As he said in the pasuk in Zechariah, don't hold in your heart the wickedness of the wicked. Because to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is like a shvua sheker, someone who swears with the name of Hashem to lie. That's a desecration. Because this HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates. Someone who sees someone that did the Aveira, okay, fine. But you're gonna keep it and remind, and drag it and try to bashmutz him and to try to drive him into the ground. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates. And even if you only keep it in your heart, we're not saying there that you come out and you say words, because this is obvious. So what are we saying here? These people, they bring sorrows to Bnei Yisrael. We have to understand how is the din controlling, it's like a metronome, controlling what's happening into the world. David HaMelech said, I should have looked at the next pasuk. David HaMelech said in Tehillim, Emes me'eretz titzmach. The emes, the truth, has to grow from the ground, from earth. Tzedek mishamayim nishkaf. And then tzedek will be poured from shamayim. The Malbim touches this pasuk the following way. If someone has a field and, I don't know, didn't work it, didn't sow, didn't prepare it, when it rains, something will grow? Only weeds, but nothing will grow. So you need to prepare the ground in order for the rain. So the rain by itself, so the shefa from Shamayim cannot work by itself. You have to have a kli, and the kli is your field. But the field, you need to work it out. You need to prepare it. You need to put the seeds in the ground. Otherwise, the rain won't achieve anything with it. He says, this is what it is. Eretz emes me'eretz titzmach. That it's completely, when people seek the truth, they don't budge. Even when they talk to each other, amongst themselves, people, not only in Beis Din, amongst themselves, they talk the truth, automatically they raise the truth. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as we're going to see in the Midrash in 2 seconds, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu threw the emes down on earth. So now the emes, we have to raise it again. How? By speaking truth. And at that point, the tzedek comes from Shammai. We start understanding one little picture. We're not there yet, but one little picture takes form. What? That when a person speaks truth, automatically becomes a kli for the shefa. Whatever comes through your mouth, good, the rain will be good. Bad, you'll be flooded. Bad rains. You control the elements. Now, how do the shoftim and everything control the world, control the elements? So again, the mouth controls the shefa. When everybody gets shefa. Remember the word of the Baal Shem. I went over many times. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always sending reside. He wants to accept the tefillah. But because we changed ourselves, because we don't have anymore the nefesh ruach neshama of kedusha, because of what we spoke, the way we spoken, we've spoken things that are not emes, it's sheker, automatically the letters change and it becomes tzara. So when you have a tzara, always 1,000,000% comes from the mouth. Nothing, change your mouth. I could go on there, from Rabbi Nechuni ben Akana, new things that I found about this. It's unbelievable, but it's not the subject of the day. We're going to see that this applies to the Dayanim in much greater fashion than for people. I'm going to show you the pasuk because I need to mark you with this. You're going to understand this is something, Alav Hashem, my father was very makpid that there should be no litzanus in the house, because when we say litzanus, it's always on a lie. It's always built on the, your friend expenses or on the thing. So it's always an Yisro something. Zechariah says that's before Mashiach comes. This is what you should do. Dabru emes ishes re'eu. You should talk truth one with the friend. That brings Mashiach. Now, it's going to say emes umishpat shalom. We had mishpat tzedek before. Now we have a new one. Mishpat shalom, shiftu b'sharechem, again b'sharechem. B'chol sharechem, b'sharechem, no, shiftu b'irchem, shiftu b'ratzechem. Do we have to go into the details, where it has to be? So you see the parallel between the person talking emes, but the Dayan has another chiyuv, emes and mishpat shalom. Before in the pasuk, mishpat tzedek. I'm going to highlight it so we have it. And here, we got this going to be a dance through the Nach and the Torah on this, like there's no tomorrow. Emes, mishpat, shalom. Whoa. So is it emes, tzedek, mishpat, shalom? We'll see what it is. But everything will fall in place exactly as it's. We're going to understand this psukim very clearly. Just on the pasuk on the Chariam, it's called mishpat shalom, emes umishpat shalom. And we saw in our parasha, it says mishpat tzedek. Simple question: is it the same thing? Is emes tzedek? It's just a different way to call it. When you bring justice and you seek to be just, you automatically have to go through the road of emes. You cannot be just without being honest, being truthful. So is that the kavanah of the pasuk? Midrash Rabbah in Bereshis, on Parshas Bereshis, Amar Rab Simon teaches us that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to create Adam, he said, Nase Adam, we spoke about this last week. Nase Adam, we're going to create a man. The Malachim became agitated, and they got into groups. Some said, no, it's not a good idea. Some said it's a very good idea. Says the Midrash. Chesed ve'emes nifgashu. Chesed and emes met. Tzedek ve'shalom nashaku, but Tzedek and Shalom kissed. You see that emes is on one side of the riverbank, and Tzedek is on the other side. Automatically, the way we explain Tzedek, that you have to be truthful and honest in order to be just, is wrong. And we'll prove that by the words of the Midrash. Chesed said, yeah, Kadosh Baruch Hu, create the man, because he's going to do chasadim. Emes said, no, his nature is to lie. Don't create the man. Tzedek said, no, he's going to do justice. Create the man. Shalom said, no, he's always going to be in a fight. Never be shalom. Don't create them. Kadosh Baruch Hu took the emes, threw it to the ground. Malachim got scared. Kadosh Baruch Hu, how can you let the emes go from Shamayim? This is the cornerstone of everything, of your realm. Emes. Let the people bring it up. So we see Tzedek said, create the person. Emes said, don't create the person. Adam. So we see there are two different categories. So what is just? What is truth? Yeah, it's a beautiful definition to say you have to go through truth in order to become just. But it's not a check. David HaMelech gives us another pasuk. I think I have it because there's so many psukim, because there's a dance with mishpat, the justice and everything, that we have to follow the psukim very closely. I'm going to try to stay high level, not too did I bring it twice? Yep. I didn't bring that pasuk. That pasuk says, you know it in Tehillim, it's a famous pasuk. Tzedek u'mishpat mechoin kisech. Tzedek, justice, and mishpat, justice, is the base of your throne. What is David HaMelech saying? What is double language? Mishpat is exactly the same translation as justice, as tzedek. They're both justice. What's the difference here? What is the pasuk trying to tell us? That it has to be, you have to take a person to mishpat, to justice, and he has to be just. Justice, the word just is injustice. So what is let's get one layer on, I'm not going to go very, very deep today. I decided not to. It's too complicated. But I will explain you, and you will understand very well. If I take this word, we constantly come back, associated with every time something. Let's understand what justice means according to the Torah. We have the word mishpat. Okay, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what do you want us to do? Mishpat. Fine. What is mishpat? Mishpat is 429. That's what mishpat is. Justice is just a word. It's 429. 429 equals 3 times 143. Does it tell you something, this? Okay. 143, it's command. It's Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey, the name of the Bina. Oh, what is the Bina has to do here now? We were in the Malchus all the time. Mechoin Kisecha, the Kisa of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is in the base, is the Malchus, the lower one. What is the Bina has to do in the Mishpat? We see that how many Dayanim there are in a Beis Din? 3. Who are the Dayanim? Here they go. Now, if I take this and to show you what is a Dayan, because each one of them 3 times the Kehye written like this in full. This equals, I said, 143 equals Kel, which is on the right side, the Chasadim, the line of the Chasadim, Elohim, which is the other side, the left side, the Gvuras, the Dinim, and we have in the middle, Rachamim, Yud Kei Vav Kei. A complete Dayan should be able to go to Chesed. He should be able to comprehend Gvura, to know when, because it says, Lo Yisaguru Mipnei Ish, you cannot be scared of anyone. And you have to have Rachamim. You don't have to be a Chayera, yelling at people. You can talk to people in a human way. He may not be right, but he may not know that he is not right. He may not have done. He thought with today's craziness, it was probably unintentional. Don't judge him like this. Okay, you caught him with a hand in a cookie jar, fine. Maybe he was going through a hard time and he thought he'll reimburse later. There's a lot of possibilities. You cannot see an act of wickedness and keep it in your heart. Because we are incapable, a mind is incapable of comprehending someone else's life. You can see an act, you can judge on a point, but we cannot. We are so full of our own life, so we say he has the same life, so if you put this data in my life, that means this, but this is wrong. What he has done is within his life, within his challenges. So you cannot judge on the wickedness. And if he accepts the din, he goes out like a tzaddik. It's done, it's finished. So this is a dayan. It has to have the 3 sides. And these are the mishpat. The mishpat is an adjective, not so much now anymore a noun. It defines the qualities of a dayan. Now, if we take mishpat, I'm going to take it from the prophet. Now it's requested to do a mishpat tzedek. So you understand already the mishpat means the dayan should. Before, there's a whole process before you come and judge a person. You don't look at people as whatever. You understand you have a Jew in life, and you understand that you have to extend your hand and bring him up from the hole he's in. Why? Because this is going to affect all the Bnei Yisrael. If we don't do the din from Shamayim, the Malchus will be forced to allow the din to happen, and that's going to create a tremendous tzar to the Bina, as we're going to see. Mishpat Tzedek equals 623. Equals Ze Hashar Lashem. We see we're really working in the Malchus, the Shar, in order to go up in Shamayim. The first had to open the gate. Ze Hashar Lashem, Tzadikim Yavo Uvoy. How do you get the Tzadik to go through? Give a hand to the person who fell. Try to comprehend. Don't be a chayera that uses power and yell like a behemoth, that they bring to shchita. Be human. Understand that there may be reasons why he is in the place he is in. And rather than burying him deeper, so there's a din lemaila because he didn't do the din lemata, and we're going to see that the dayan that doesn't do the din down below, and he's not bringing up back that person, Hashem takes lives of his family. That's what the Gemara says in Sanhedrin. He's going to pay. You wanted to take advantage of a Jew. You wanted to make him suffer. You wanted to take advantage. I feel good. Now I'm on that side of the table. These two guys respond to me. I'm the little judge in court there. And this guy's seen too many movies, of judges on a thing. And all of a sudden he feels, no. A Dayan is an information desk. More than this, he is not. The only action Dayanim do is inform the parties of the halachas that they just don't know. So you come up and you say, this halacha say this party touches halacha, and this halacha, and this halacha, and together you bring them up, and that's the case you have in front of you, and you tell them, you're correct, you are incorrect. And please correct that, and this is the way we're going to correct. And usually when you talk, not every time, but when you try to talk to the person in order to entice him to come back, to do the right thing, usually a lot of them are responsive the right way. But some, how can I be wrong? I'm not wrong, this, I'm that. So we said Mishpat Tzedek was 623. If we add the koilel of each word is 625. If you take the word Adam in full, I don't need to write it, you know that word. Aleph, Dalet, Mem, all in full, equals 625. When you're a full person, meaning you're not just an Adam, Aleph, Dalet, Mem. You have also the inside, you show it to the person. You show that you are willing to get involved and try to help. At that point, 625 equals koi times koi. Koi is always the Shekhinah. We learned it, the 5 hays. So the Shekhinah start sending Emetz me'eret titzmach. When the emes comes from down below and you try to be mischasid with the Jew, you try to help, do chesed to a Jew that fell and bring him back on his feet. Tzedek mishamayim nishkaf. And then from Shamayim, we're going to have the Shefa. To the point that the Gemara says, when there's a Magefa in Yisro, it's because of the Dayan, because of no one else. But when there's bounty in the Bnei Yisrael, it's also because of the Dayanim, because there's Din Emes. So why we have these two groups in the pasuk, just to try to be, I know I'm being a bit too technical here, but I would like to prove a point. Exactly how the din is being removed from Shamayim. I don't like klalim like this. I don't like the, okay, yes, if there's a din here down below, there's no din up there because there's only one din. It can be only in one place. How do we know it's completed? How do we know how it's removed from? I like to understand the technicalities because I know everything is in the letters. So, tzedek v'shalom nashaku, tzedek v'shalom. We spoke about this Arya Kodesh. Tzedek v'shalom equals 576, Malchus. What do you mean, Malchus? Whoa, we just talk about being nice to the guy. You're trying to be mean now? No. Remember the Arya Kodesh we spoke in Makkes Chav Beis Amud Aleph about the Mishnah. If by mistake the Sanhedrin flogged someone that was liable to death. You know, we have a lot of Mrs. Basi, right? In the Torah. Everybody's scared that the four Mrs. Basi. How many times it happened? Once. It's another Indian. It's for Kriya Shema. It's for different things that brings the person to another level, hiding. So you know, even the Din b'Hakadosh Baruch Hu, there's a lot of Rachmim inside. There's no one thing in Hakadosh Baruch Hu that's not Rachmim. So why is he called Malchus? Because Malchus says that Kodesh. So the Mishnah said this guy is patur from Misa now because he received Malchus. Explained the Ari Kodesh. There's only in total in the world 576 dinim, like the word Malchus. Tzedek v'shalom, when it's just and it's done peacefully, automatically all the dinims are null on that person. If the person accepts the din from the dayan, not only that din is gone, all his dinim are gone. How many flogs he received? 39. But after the writer pasuk, after the Malchus, it's called your brother received Malchus. Achicha, 39. From Malchus, he became your brother again. When someone accepts the din, he becomes Achicha again. And we have to be understanding those terms that it has to be tzedek v'shalom. The same way that the Torah asks us about mishpat, tzedek, mishpat, shalom. Now, we're going with the bad guys. In the Zohar in Tikkunim says, woe to the dayan that changes or moves away from the dayan up there. The dayan up there is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's the Malchus, because the dinim are in the Malchus, and this is the dayan, and the dayan ki hamishpat leloikim, and the dayan is also called Eloikim because at this moment when the din is the Malchus handing it to the dayanim, and at the time they touch each other, it's called Eloikim, meaning the dayan also is under the din of that. And you have to be extremely careful. So when that person has a bad intention, and I know that guy, he did me a favor on the thing, he brought me a case of wine on Sukkot or whatever, Avade dayan for much less than this has to recuse himself. But if this guy stays, he destroys the world. The world was created Bereshis bara Eloikim. And for those who learn Zohar, you saw that the number of words we have between the first Eloikim to the second, to the third, to the fourth is Yud K Vav K. I mean, the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is engraved in this world. But the one that the world, the name that rules the world is Elohim. Therefore, whenever this name is we got to be very careful. And the dayan that changes anything from the din is like koifer b'maisa bereshis. He destroys the world, and then he triggers the upper dayan to open a din. Instead of mamoinos, instead of financial, it becomes neshams. It becomes lives. Therefore, emes me'eretz titzmach. A person should always have in mind midevar sheker ticha. From sheker, always run away. But that's not it. That's not enough. You have to do emes me'eretz titzmach. And that's the kind That's the kind of dayanim that the Torah here. So yes, Moshe Rabbeinu was there, but he was Moshe Rabbeinu. Who doesn't know that Moshe Rabbeinu, when Moshe Rabbeinu is here, who's going to move? He's still the head of the head dayan of all the Beis Din. He's the Avi Avaisa Beis Din. Now Moshe Rabbeinu says, I'm leaving you in 11 days. You're going to be without me. When I'm here, you have the das shining upon you. You have no problem being the righteous dayan. It's when I'm not there that you're going to have a problem. And therefore, let me tell you what you have to do. And when the Zohar finishes by when a dayan done din emes, when he does a just, he comes up with a just din, truthful din, it's exact. He's considered as he has freed the Shekhinah from Galus as well as Bnei Yisrael. It's a Yeshua. It's the Geula. That's how much a dayan. That's why in Eches Dayanim there is a whole in Siman Ches. There's a whole preparation, to tell you what do you have to think before you come to din. Like you see under your feet the Gehinnom, the fire burning. That's why you always see the Dayanim looking down at the beginning. Those who want to be the players and those who want to trap you and already have the din finished in their head before they even heard you, that those Dayanim are completely shy. Let's see. Now we've been talking about this midah. Sorry. So this is what a dayan has to have with him and train himself to have this on the double. As soon as you start every din, you start over again for the next one. Don't feel I've done it already before, I'm not going to do it again. No, this is the midah. What's hidden behind this midah? This equals, Shimon HaTzadik said, the world stands on three things: Torah, Avodah, Gemilos Chasadim. Everything is in emes. A person said, I'm learning Torah, whatever, with a sheker in the hand. He goes down to the mikveh and he has a sheretz in his hand. He's never going to become tahor. Before you start Torah, Avodah, Gemilos Chasadim, sorry, I forgot to write this. Exactly the word of the Mishnah. You have to have emes. This is, so even a person, when the Nabi told us, speak emes with your friend, you have to understand that the emes is the foundation of you being able to learn Torah, you being able to learn how to do avodah, and you able to do true Gemilos Chasadim. Otherwise, it's Gemilos Chasadim for you, which is just opening, I'm going to do it for my name, I'm going to have my name on the thing here. I help because I'm part of the Chesed Shalemes, I'm part of, everyone wants to have an identity. So they use the Chesed in order to create themselves an identity. And that's pure sheker. And we know what sheker stands for. And we know that sheker is the opposite letters of kesher. Instead of being attached on top, is totally detached. And then Rahman Islam, he falls to all the galus, all the extension of the galus. A lot of people want to say it's because Yidden are not what they were and everything. That's not true. That's not true. This is not because this guy was born in a non-from family and so far he doesn't know anything about Torah. These are all cotton shenishka. These are all shoige. These are not amazing. We said the Gemara says, I mean, the whole world stands on the din, the whole world. On Shabbos, I'm going to show you that there are not every time al shloisha dvarim. It means there are three amudim in the world, there are three pillars in the world, or there's only one pillar. Because on one pillar, you have on one side din, emes, shalom. We'll see that on Shabbos. And you're going to see there's only one. It's all, but you have to start with the din. You have to be, that's why it says, titen lecha. Before you become shoftim v'shoitrim, you have to work on your own midas. And once you work on your own midas, then you can be a shofet, and then you can be a, a shoiter, meaning enforce the din. Do something terrible, terrible, that the Sifra says in Parshas Kiddush. It says there, Lo isasu avel b'mishpat. Don't cheat the case. Don't you try to make that guy trip and pretend with the thing that you're going to make your friend win. Because we said already in the Gemara, in Sanhedrin, that that person, his wife is a collateral, and his children are the next collateral, and then him. But not him first, because it's too easy. However, someone who's, so that's called, but someone who does not pervert the din, he does the right din, but he's finding heterim kulis that don't exist and try to make it work in order to prevent the Rasha from receiving his punishment. That person, when comes Rosh Hashanah and HaKadosh Baruch Hu opens the books of and judges everyone, he takes his neshama. So he's not going to trigger, because he did din emes, he's not going to trigger to be the din on him right away, but he's going to trigger that it's going to be marked in his sefer. And when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to see that in the sefer, says, guy like this, I don't want in my world, out. Therefore, the Sifra calls them very interesting lashon. Oof. Nowhere else did I find it, but he calls him in the Sifra, the dine is over. I'm going to put you the voil so you can read with me. Over. Not only this, Sanui is hated. HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates him. Sorry. He is also Sanui umeshukatz. Disgusting. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can't even look at it. He cannot approach HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Exactly. I'm writing exactly how it's written in the Sifra. He gives us Avel by itself, Sanu Yumeshukatz together. Place. And he's going to give us another pair of adjectives here. Kerem v'soy eva. So quickly, Kerem is the Ramach opposite. You know what happens? Has no more kesher with on top. And when he is soyeva, something that soyeva means he became a chassid de Yisro, belongs to the Sitra Achra completely. These strange languages that you find nowhere have a number. It's 1,752. I was playing with it. I said, I'll never find anything that matches this. Well, I was wrong. Babel, first goddess. Paras, second goddess. Yavan, third goddess. Edom, we're in it with the Shekhinah. All because the din is not a dinamis. Here are all the galuyas. Look at the Gemaras, because there's so many Gemaras about this that talk nonstop. That when it was Irat Tzedek Yerushalayim, when they started not applying the righteous din, emes dika din, automatically the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. So, I mean, there's if you look in Micha, has a lot, it's Micha Peregim. It has a lot of our words that we have been using why Yerushalayim was destroyed. That there was the Shoichat, everything, Makir Panim, and so forth. Everything was done, and this is the reason everything happened. I want to go back to one Gemara, but this time I'm going to read it to you, because this Gemara is extremely important. We're going to have a new dimension added by one Gemara. The Gemara in Shabbos, the Gemara in Shabbos, Yud Amud Aleph. Kol dayan shedan din emes la'amitoy. Every dayan that judges a din, I'm not going to translate emes la'amitoy. We'll see, because that's the words I want to understand, because they're going to bring clarity to everything. Afilu sha'echas, even if it's only for 1 hour. Ma'ale olav akosuf, the pasuk consider it. Ki ilu nase shutaf la'kadosh baruch hu b'ma'aseh bereishis, as if he was a partner of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in ma'aseh bereishis. Meaning the same way HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the foundation on this world that can stand. This person, by doing din emes la'amitoi, also strengthened the foundation of the world. He's Elohim when he takes the din. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world with Elohim. There was something else I wanted to add you here, an important component that when the Dayan is doing din emes la'amito, emes, I know what it is. We've been speaking about. We had it in many psukim. What is emes la'amito? The truth of the truth. Like you're squeezing the truth, the external part of the truth is not good enough. You have to go into the heart, and that's what the Torah wants. Well, that's really the way to translate it. What did he do, the Dayan, here when he gave din emes la'amit? What did he do? You're going to see that with those two words, we are going to crystallize everything we have said till now. Everything. If I take the word emes la'amita, now in the midrashim, in the Zohar, you find this like it was like well, you don't know what emes la'amita is? Whoa, where are you coming from? No, I don't know what it means. The truth of the truth. I know what the truth is. Are you telling me that there's hakasha? I mean, you have to take the emes and hit it, and the light that comes out of the emes, this is what I'm supposed to take. This is what I'm supposed to be connected. When I don't know, you know my habit. Nine 18. What is it telling me? Emes la'amit. 918, just a number. But it's a very important number. It's the number of Asiya Yetzira Beria. Whoa, that's something. The three words. Who's in Beria? The Bina. Oh, we find her again. Now we're going to see what's going on with the Bina. Wait, what's happening? Asiya Yetzira Beria. When a Dayan is not trying, is simply an information desk and says truthfully what it says in the Shulchan Aruch, is taking the Malchus, because the Malchus had the din, so he had to come down to punish, or to allow the Sitra Achra to punish. At that point, you enable the Malchus to go up like on Shabbos. To start, I mean, beginning of Shabbos in Beria, with the Bina, mother and daughter. Tzedek Tir. This pasuk, the Zohar asks, I know what tzedek is, but what is to tzedek? What you have to pursue is taking the malchus called tzedek and connected with a bina called tzedek also, because it's on the line of the gvuras. So you have to do to raise the level of the justice. To which point? To the highest level, which is the bina. There's no one above called tzedek. That's the bina. That's how far you have to work. So there's a lot of halachas after you finish the din. What do you have to do in order to be able to write a psak? It's not so simple. First of all, you're not allowed the same day. It's not allowed. It has to be after the next night. So you have a night going over you and it starts fermenting in your head, but then it's not enough. Now the next day, the Dayanim get together and they start repeating the tiness of each party. Oh, no, I remember he said that. That's why we take notes. I remember he said that. And if he said that, what did he mean? Because he said that. And here we go. Now, you don't have, it never correspond to one halacha, someone should know, oh, it's simple, it's this halacha. No, it's a bit of this halacha with a bit of the other halacha, passing the chuvas the way he learned another halacha, and it's a world. And after that only, when you spend hours going back and forth, and now you see exactly what each one said as if you were in their shoes, you see very clear. Now go work the whole night and go write a psak, because it's going to take at least a full night. So, and this is how a psak comes out. That's why a psak is never immediate. You have to get the dayanim to go over, and if we're not sure, we have to call those guys. Did you say that, or you said something else? And go trust him. Now, when we said that emes me'eres titzmach, וצדק משמיים nishkaf. Then the shefa, the tzedek, give us the shefa. This, equals kel melech yoshev al kisei. There's no yud on it. Kisei rach. As soon as the dayan gives a din emes la'amito, as soon as he takes and he comes with the kavana to raise the shechina, to bring her to the bina, so Am Yisrael receive, instead of having din chman al itzlan, they receive shefa. HaKadosh Baruch Hu changed seat from Kel Melech Yoshev, he goes to sit Kisei Rachmin on the Malchus, because now it doesn't have dinim. Whenever the Malchus has dinim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not connected to her. Cannot connect to an angry woman. But when she is in Rachmin, it becomes Kisei Rachmin, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, when you say Kel Melech Yoshev al Kisei Rachmin on Yom Kippur, you will understand that, and we'll see more soidis on this, B'ez Hashem, on Shabbos, now, just in these words of Shoftim v'Shoftim, there are so many soidos that which one should I give you, to close up here? Okay. I'm going to go simple. Now, after we've seen all this, let's see in the pasuk what HaKadosh Baruch Hu demands for here and answer the question. We have Shoftim v'Shoftim. This equals to 1004. The bracha, the image of the bracha, when we say in Shmoneh Esrei, v'sen tal u'matar, matar is really, we're not talking about the real rain. We're talking about mem for matar, tes for tal techiyah, and resh for ruach Elohim. Who is the ruach Elohim, says the Midrash? The Mashiach. Matar is a magical word. When you take matar, tal, ruach, equals 502. So matar, tal, ruach, which is equal to Hamalchus plus the Koil. In other words, when you have a Shoftim v'Shoftim, you're directing the Shefa to the Malchus. So the Malchus now has light. It's not dark anymore. Where is the Shefa coming? From the Midah called Mishpat, from Kucha Berichu. Kucha Berichu and Shchinte, now they're together and he's shining on her, and right away she's going to be Mashpia. You want a proof to that? For sure, I'm going to give you a proof. The pasuk said, tzedek, tzedek, tirdav, right? And we explained, and we had enough proof that he was the Shechina to all the way to the Bina. This equals to 1072. This equals to Knesset Yisro. It's always the Malchus, whether you put it on the Midah, on the Keseh, it's always for what do you do when you bring through the Malchus plus the Koil? What do you do when you bring up the Malchus? You remove the Din, you bring her through Asiya, Yetzira, Beria. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Yoshev al Kisei Rachmim, because now the Malchus became Rachmim. How is it become Rachmim? Because you have the Matat Tal Ruach shining, the dew of, and the Ruach Elohim shining upon the Malchus. Then the Bina and the Malchus get together because they're in Beria, and automatically the Shefa goes to who? To Knesset Yisro. Kadosh Baruch Hu says simple. Your life depends. That's what the Midrash we started with. It's a lamb. You are a lamb. You have 70 nations that want to kill you. And the only way when you do din, HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts fear in your enemies. Unfortunately, I don't remember the pasuk. If you allow me, I'll check. I'll show you the I'll show you the pasuk in where is the pasuk? Here it is. In Shmuel base. I said no. In Shmuel base. Copy. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna paste it. I'm gonna give you one more thing and I'm finishing the show. Sorry. The way to do it. Everything is on. Ulmin hayoim asher tzivisi shoftim al ami Yisro, and from the day that I ordered them to take shoftim, dayanim, on my people Yisro. Vanichoisi lecha mikol oivech. Automatically, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, He left us alone from all our enemies. Look at the Malbim there. You will see what we said. But it's exactly now we understand how everything works. Because the Goyim can only take the Din in order to go after us. What's happening in Eretz Yisrael is because of a lack of Din. If the Din was applied, the Goyim are scared. Why Bnei Yisrael were able to go up to the Beis HaMikdash and leave their fortune, leave their land, and the Goyim were not invading? Because there was Din in Bnei Yisrael. And when there's no Din, I'm almost... we said here, Bechol She'arecha, we could not understand the Ari HaKadosh explains the 50 gates of Bina open up. That's why it says She'ari. I'm not going to dive into it now. It's a bit too late. But no, I brought the process afterward. I'm finishing on this. Bechol She'arecha equals 652. You want to know what you're getting from it? Kal oiros. Sorry. The oiros that revive the people. Person can be sick. If there's a din, there's no one sick in Bnei Yisrael. If there is a din, there's no threat from the going to the Bnei Yisrael. If there's a din, the key is to take the din away from the Malchus. And with that, raise the Malchus to the Bina and let the Bina do the rest.